Bonjour!
Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about a controversial topic, aka is World of Tanks Blitz a pay-to-win game? And before you start saying in the comments, yes it is, let me put it in perspective first, okay? And no, I'm not paid by Wargaming, I'm not getting supported by them in any ways to promote the game or I don't know what, because I know that's the best argument my haters are going to use against me. No, it's my own opinion. I'm not working for Wargaming. First thing first, we need to know what's the definition of pay to win. For most people, being pay to win or a game that is pay to win is a game where, as it's written in the sentence, you have to pay in order to win. In World of Tanks Blitz, if we had to represent it, it would be like you buy some completely broken tanks and of course it's gonna help you growing your statistics and maybe help you win more, whereas if you are a free-to-play player and therefore don't have access to all those broken premium tanks, you will struggle way more in order for you to get good stats, etc. And even if at first sight, gotta be honest, yes, it looks like a pay-to-win game, and I gotta agree on that. But if you put it a little bit in perspective, you will see that even if some tanks are completely broken, because that's logic, that's a company, they make mistakes, and most of the time they do it on purpose because they want to sell tanks. I want to remind you, it's not a charity, they need to make money. That's why they released Smasher, that's why they released Annihilator, etc, etc. But even if all those tanks are, yes, kind of disappointing, I want to remind you that if in the current meta they are broken, they will in the future be power crept by tech tree or even more premiums that will be better. That's how the game is growing. The faster the games are, the more broken the tanks become. And that's why even if for the moment, yes, Smasher, Annihilator and all those kind of tanks are kind of upsetting to face, don't worry, in 1 or 2 years they will just be regular tanks, whereas the already power crept tanks from this meta will be better, not better, but will be worse. So that's the first thing I wanted to say about Smasher, Annihilator and all those broken tanks. Now we need to put it in perspective and to see, do you really need to spend a lot of money in order for you to get those tanks? Because if we say that it's pay to win, it means that you have to pay, you have to gamble, you have to put your real money into the game for you to be able to get those tanks. And even if for the most broken tanks in this game it's true, it's not necessarily the case for all of them. I want to remind you that every time we have a Christmas event, we have the Blitz fair, and in the Blitz fair you can get yourself some pretty juicy tanks for gold. Yes, it requires from you to be patient simply because you have to gather your gold and round it up all year long, but at the end of the year, if you manage to get yourself enough gold watching ads, etc, directly into the game, because if I remember correctly you can get up to 100 gold per, yeah, you can get 100 gold per day by watching ads. If you do that for a whole year, trust me, you will have enough for you to be able to get some of those tanks. Of course, it's not like someone that is going to use his credit card and that will be able to get whatever he wants at whatever time he wants, but if you are patient, trust me, this game will not feel as much pay to win as it feels right now. And also, if you compare it to World of Tanks PC, I know devs don't really like us doing that simply because when you do it, you kind of compare two games that are not comparable because they don't have the same parameters, etc. But like, I feel like it's important for you to put it in perspective through the scope of World of Tanks PC. Because in World of Tanks PC, guys, we have a real problem. It's pay to win. Why is it pay to win? Because if you want to get those tanks, there is no way for you to get gold for free. You can get it through events, but it's really, really hard and it will take you years to be able to get only one tank. Whereas in World of Tanks Blitz, with the event, and especially the E75 TS event we had previously this year, Wargaming actually allows you to get some tanks for free, completely for free, premiums, and that are good. I mean, that's not like they did an event to grind the KV5. No, here, literally, they allowed you to get an E75 TS, and even if it doesn't fit the playstyle of literally everybody, it's still a really, really nice tank that I still enjoy playing in the current meta. Of course, it's not like a Smasher or an Annihilator, but trust me, you would rather see Wargaming put completely broken tanks for money only, whereas if you allow every single free-to-play player to get a broken tank, everybody will play it, and it will completely destroy the matchmaking. Just take a look at tier 7 matchmaking now that the Annihilator was here for only 10 euros. We see so many Annihilators on the battlefield simply because it was cheap. It is cheap if you compare the price of the Annihilator to the price of other regular tanks. For example, the Smasher. The first time the Smasher was released, it was in the shop for 32 or 34 euros if you used Amazon App Store. Therefore, it was 44 euros if you were on Steam or Apple Store, something like this. Whereas the Annihilator, it was only 10 euros. And look at how many Annihilators you see on the battlefield. Trust me, you will see more Annihilators than you will see Smasher. And trust me, you would rather have less Annihilator and less Smasher than too much in the battlefield. Everybody's already complaining about the Annihilator being broken and completely breaking up the tier 7 matchmaking, so don't expect Wargaming to put those tanks in free events. And I want to remind you also that one of the most broken tanks you could get at tier 10 came in the shop for gold, aka the T22 Medium. And yes, you need to spend your money wisely, because for those of you who spent the money they gathered or the gold they gathered through events in the Blitz fair, yeah, you could be deceived because the T22 Medium actually came in the shop after. But if you did not spend and waited, of course it's kind of a gambling game because you need to be sure that something is gonna come. It's kind of a dangerous bet on yourself, simply because you could wait for those tanks to come in the shop and they could probably not come as gold rewards. But here it worked with the T22 Medium. The tank actually came in gold, and therefore can we really say from World of Tank Blitz that the game is pay to win if the game itself allows you to get those pay to win tanks for free? Yes, on the principle, yes, Wargaming is making pay-to-win tanks because they need to make money, and that's how they hype their players. But if you see through the scope of how can you get those tanks, you can get them for free if you are patient. So no, the game is not pay to win if you are patient enough for you to gather gold for the whole year completely for free. It's only my opinion. Of course, there are a lot of downsides to what I say, because if we take the main thing is that game pay to win, when you see tanks like Smasher and Annihilator, you say, yes, of course, those tanks are going to inflict a lot of damage on the battlefield and they are really going to be problematic. Whereas if you take a Spic, it's not going to have the same impact. Yes, I got to agree with you, but you can get them for free if Wargaming is cool enough to put them in gold in the shop. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. I would be curious to know if you think like me, or if you think definitely that the game is pay to win and that it's a shame. I would like to have your opinion. I'm curious about your feedbacks on this. Hopefully you enjoyed that video, guys. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And I'm gonna see you soon for a new one. Au revoir.